Warning. We get heated.
Hello and welcome back to the Akatsuki Tournament of Power. This is Peanut Butter speaking, joined today with
your boy Jesh
and
Dirty Dosu.
If you haven't seen the previous videos, definitely go check them out. Links will be in the description. Today it is going to be the finals, which is Itachi Kisame versus Sasori and Datara.
Spoilers.
Itachi lost his eye, the Tsukiyomi eye, in the last fight versus Pain and Conan, just due to trying to hold Pain off, so there's that. But he does have Kodo Uematsu Kame, or the Mind Control Jutsu eye from Shisui, still in his crow, so I just think he kind of puts that in his eye. I think that's agreeable.
Also, Sasori's Hiroku puppet is destroyed.
Yeah,
gone.
So at least Kakazu could do that.
And Datara comes in fully functional, didn't lose anything, full recovery.
Flying around, dude. Throwing bombs. That's what
full
Datara
recovery.
does.
So he's coming in full heat.
All right. So we yelled at each other for about an hour in the last hour here, trying to figure out what and who wins what and why, and it was a disaster. But I think we've come to a general consensus.
Yeah.
So I believe the fight goes Itachi versus Datara and Kisame versus Sasori.
Facts.
All right. So Jesh, do you want to talk about the fight between Sasori versus Kisame?
So as far as Sasori versus Kasame, I think, especially with Kasame's water prison jutsu, Sasori's puppets are pretty hindered. We haven't seen them underwater at all.
Or affected by any water.
Yeah, but there's also, I mean, there's no reason his puppets would work underwater.
Why wouldn't they? They're not like they're not robots.
He comes from the sand village.
There's no water there.
Puppets. They're not
puppets.
like humans.
Yeah, okay, but sand gets in them and they stop working. That's his own village.
So like, gears and stuff like that, right? Like sand would get in like the little nicks and crannies. But this is water. You're a puppet user. You're flipping and whipping.
Yeah, how do you think water affects things?
I do agree that these puppets are hindered. Facts. But wait,
I think
counterpoint. Wait. Are we just in like an ocean? Like this battle's occurring on top of the water and they're all fighting?
I don't think the battle is taken to the water immediately.
So this is like a field battle, open field,
I think
right?
it's open field right now.
All right, fair. So there's no mystical giant pool of water that Kasame just make this giant ocean.
He is a powerful enough water user
to where he's beast.
Probably the best water user. I can't think of a better water user.
To where he could
Suigetsu's pretty heat.
He can make
Suigetsu can't. This is not a Suigetsu video. All right? We're not getting there. I'm not doing that.
All right,
we're stopping that right now.
But I think the battle would go between either Sasori's lead or iron.
iron sand.
Okay, iron sand. The Kisame's like Samada shark combo. Yeah,
when he fuses.
Yeah. And how long he survives with being poisoned? Because I believe like near 100% that Kasame is going to be poisoned within this fight.
So the thing that, just for reference, is if Kasame gets poisoned and all of Sasori's weapons and attacks are essentially laced with poison, and the poison is almost incurable, then he dies. In 3 days, but he's paralyzed.
It would probably take a lot longer than 3 days to kill Kisame.
Yeah, he is. He's
but at least he'll be paralyzed.
Strong.
He'd at least be paralyzed. That's
he
facts.
would get paralyzed.
And if you're paralyzed,
he probably would be paralyzed at the same time as someone
immediately.
like Kankuro was, where Kankuro's kind of a potato boy.
But
he has like no life force, dude. He controls puppets, So that's like your comparison. You have Kisame, brute force guy, versus puppet boy.
And he's not like playing like reserved, like scratch by scratch. Kasame's going for that kill every hit.
Yes.
So he's putting his life on the line. So he's going to be quite open for an attack by the master strategist of Sasori, taking out a whole village by himself. This is no easy feat.
But the thing,
he took
he's
out
not
the
village
taking
with
the
puppets.
village
He can't
He's
even.
taking out Kisame.
Yeah,
and his sharks.
No, what I'm saying is when he did the village, or he took out the village, I think it was actually a nation, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like a whole country.
A whole country.
Of
Something
ninjas.
Absolutely stupid. But he had puppets. But Samehada eats chakra, and the puppets are controlled by chakra strings.
Eat it like spaghetti.
Yeah, eat it like spaghetti. Yeah.
Easy.
So he can't pull his puppets, so he's severely hindered. And
I
he's
agree.
a ranged fighter.
So that's why I said previously he would have to use the iron puppet, the third Kazekage.
So you're saying he would switch his body into the third Kazekage?
Yeah, definitely.
But that means, I don't know, dude. Would he do that to himself? Because then he doesn't have the flamethrower and all that. And
that doesn't really work against water, though.
I don't know, that fire is hot enough to melt rocks. Do you think that works underwater? It melts rocks. That's pretty ridiculous.
Sasori's quite versatile, so I think this battle will be very drawn out, long, and I think it would end in Kasame living, not well, not for long, definitely. A bare edge.
I disagree. I think he'd be relatively okay. Yeah, he's poisoned, but he's not walking with he's not limping.
So I think the battle goes like this from start to finish, right? I think Sasori pulls out his puppets. Samehada eats the puppet strings, like you said, like spaghetti. Like they're gone. Yeah. Controls no puppets. And he realizes the situation. Oh, I can't use my puppets. Oh no. So he goes into his puppet body. I don't know if I agree that he does the Iron Sand, but I guess it's probably the strongest puppet that he has. So maybe.
It's a Kazekage, strongest of the nation.
Allegedly the strongest of all time. But do you think Sasori's body is stronger than that? Because that really depends on the outcome.
We'll never know because Sasori let himself die. Like, basically suicide.
He didn't let himself
die.
So
he could have kept on fighting, but he's like, you know what? This ain't it for me anymore. GG. I'm tired of this life. So we don't know his full capability. There's still other jutsu he was apparently able to do, but he did not.
All right, well, let's, I guess, run down both scenarios if that's cool.
Go for it.
Okay, so after that, then I see no reason why Kasame would not do the water prison in both fights. So after he has no puppets that he can use, then he does the water prison. So he's in a giant water prison, summons 100 sharks. He's already fused with Samehada. So he's swimming around.
Yeah.
Sasori, like I said, is a ranged fighter, so he's at a huge disadvantage, but he doesn't need to breathe, so he's okay. So either way, he's okay. But I think that's the point for both fights to set at right there. All right, agreed with that?
Yeah.
Cool. So I think the water is hot enough to work underwater, but I don't think it's hot enough to be like effective underwater.
The fire is hot enough to work underwater.
But so if he's already in the water though, he's not using his own chakra, I don't think, to ignite this fire. So he can't just like start spewing fire when he's underwater.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Samehada's kind of low-key broken. Like that whole thing of absorbing chakra just really messes.
I do think, like I said, that Kasame lives throughout the fight because he has better taijutsu skills, this and that, and his chakra absorption of Samehada is god tier since he has it during this fight. If he didn't have Samehada, I think this would be an easy GG, but that's my opinion.
I agree with that.
With Samehada, I think he wins, but he's not coming out good. I don't even think he lives in most of the cases for me. Yeah. But you guys, you may not agree. Fine. All right.
No, I think what happens in that scenario where he's in his softer body is that what you were saying earlier is he ejects poison and kind of lures him in.
That's it.
Kasame's not the most intelligent guy, so I think he
strong
punches him in his chest or something, obliterates his body, but is also poisoned at that point. Right. I think that's the one scenario.
That's fair.
But then on the other hand, when he's in his Kazekage body, he has Iron Sand, and that actually does work underwater. Because it's magnet release.
Yes.
But it's also laser.
It's also a lot slower though.
Yeah.
It's probably hindered, yes. Water hinders all.
I kind of see the same scenario for both, for ending wise.
All right, how about the scenario where Datara fights Kasame? Do you think there would be any different outcome? Because I also think Datara will not even wash. I think it would be an okay fight, but I think Datara will win.
I disagree.
Don't know because he has those molecular bombs that explode.
Like at a cellular level, these things are killing, and it's not like Kasame can see chakra flows or whatever like a Sharingan, so he can't see this stuff. He breathes it in, goes through his gills,
but he doesn't need to see because Samehada is attracted to chakra.
He starts sucking it up. He eat it on purpose. You're right. He's sucking up like a drink. He's like, ooh, this smoothie boy is looking good, and then
he'd be eating the chakra that explodes, but not the clay. I don't think.
It'd be like a.
But does this chakra explode? I don't.
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
I don't know.
It's kind of like plastic explosive, so the chakra just ignites like the clay.
So if you eat the chakra,
but it's at a molecular level. These are like mini tiny bombs.
But Samehada is still attracted to the chakra.
So it explodes Samehada and Kisame.
Well, you're under the impression he has to be holding Samehada. Samehada can just like fly and move around at free will. So it'd be, I think, going through the air.
In this thought process, he's fused with Samehada. If he's not fused with Samehada, he's still quite like subjected to the breathing in those molecular tiny bombs of
Okay,
C0.
but that's also under the impression that
C4.
that Kisame would let him get at that distance.
Well, this is like
Kisame's
it covered a
very-
whole forest
I
in
know,
like the
but
Sasuke fight.
He had to like get the clay, put it in his weird hand thing, and then drop it, right?
Yeah.
So, but he has to do all of that. And he also has to be in the air, so he's not affected by it.
Correct.
So he has to do all of this setup.
Yeah.
But he's going against someone like Kisame, who will give him no time for that setup.
I think you're giving him too much credit. I think you give him a little time to set up.
If it got to that point too, he can use shark bomb jutsu, and he can travel a great distance in one of those
He
shark
is quick,
bombs.
but like I said, Datara's in the air on a dragon. He can distract the little
Once again,
owls,
that's under the
snakes.
impression that he can get to that point. Kisame wouldn't like. He's not that kind of guy who's gonna let you sit there and set up. He wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Especially if it's a fight for your life.
Okay, same thing for Sasuke. Sasuke's fighting for his life.
Sasuke's a more analytic person, so he was analyzing
Oh,
the
you're
whole
right.
fight.
And do you think Kisame's thinking that hard?
No.
No. So
Kisame's
Datara's like,
dumb.
Datara's like, nah. So okay, do you think Gaara, the Kazekage, a bright young man, got outplanned by Datara? You think Gaara's as smart as Kisame? No.
Did he get outplanned by
Get
Datara?
outplayed.
He did.
No, he
No.
wanted to protect the village. That's
Yeah,
completely
that's
different.
outplayed.
No.
He used the village
he
as a
didn't-
weakness.
He didn't want. That's not outplayed. He's doing his job protecting the village. I don't know why you're going off. On
I
this
feel like we're
tangent.
really off track right now.
Oh yeah, we are.
Very
okay.
much.
So let's get
derailed.
back to the subject. I do think
right.
that Datara would defeat Kisame in a battle.
I disagree.
I don't know. I'm torn. between them.
All right.
I think that the only chance he would have is if it's C0 and he had to sacrifice himself.
I think in any C4 or C0 situation he would win, and I don't see one reason.
C0, he doesn't win though.
Well,
They're both dead.
Well, Kasame would be gone, but I'm saying that I don't think C0 would be necessary. But even let's say it was necessary, he would still. It would be a draw, so they would lose a teammate on both
he
sides.
can
Correct?
escape his shark bomb too quickly.
I don't know.
I don't agree.
He can cover enough distance.
he's
20 kilometers in the forest. What is he doing? He jumping in the forest?
He's jumping in puddles.
he jumped pretty
it's
fucking.
20 kilometers.
He
All right,
jumped
but hold
pretty
on.
high to escape.
The
from
fight
guy.
that was going on was Kasame versus Sasori. I think he's still poisoned either way. I think he's. I don't know. Hold on.
But overall, I do think that Sasori and Kasame, I do think that Kasame comes out on top of Sasori.
Wait, you say Sasori comes out on top?
No,
Kasame comes out on top.
Okay, I agree. I think they kind of kill each other. Like,
Pretty much,
high key, I
relatively.
think they both die. Or rather, Kasame kills Sasori, but he's poisoned and paralyzed, or soon to be paralyzed.
He's not useful enough for battle. Not fit for
Exactly.
battle. At least good enough.
I think he's still useful. I don't think he might be walking with a bit of swagger, but
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think I can let that one live. All right, so since this video kind of got drawn out a lot longer than we had originally intended, even when we came to this, a consensus earlier, we still somehow managed to make it this long about this. But you know what? So yeah, I'm gonna break this video apart into two sections, and we're gonna do Itachi versus Datara right after.
See you in part 2.
bye bye.